Hello fellow boomers, and welcome back to our channel. What if I told you that the greatest revolution in human history, the AI revolution, which is happening right now, has its silent and hidden sides that influence every aspect of our lives? Welcome to the AI revolution, a world where algorithms not only predict your next purchase, but might also be deciding your future. Today we're pulling back the curtain on the 10 hidden truths about artificial intelligence that tech giants and governments don't want you to know. These aren't conspiracy theories. These are the realities that will shape our future, and they're hiding in plain sight. So buckle up for an outstanding journey and make sure you stay on board until the end of this video. Envision yourself waking up tomorrow to a video of yourself doing something you never did. A voice that sounds exactly like yours saying words you never spoke. Welcome to the age of deep fakes and AI-generated misinformation. The most alarming capability of today's AI isn't its speed or efficiency, it's how it can warp our very perception of reality. Unlike traditional fake news, AI-generated content doesn't just tell you a lie, it shows you one with astonishing realism. Consider the 2023 financial market panic triggered by AI-generated images of an explosion at the Pentagon that circulated on social media. Within minutes, the stock market plunged, causing billions in losses, all from an image created in seconds by AI, and this is just the beginning. As we speak, algorithms are learning to create perfectly realistic videos, clone voices, and generate entire news articles that are virtually indistinguishable from human-created content. But the danger goes beyond what you can see. AI doesn't just create fake content, it delivers it with laser precision directly to those most vulnerable to believing it. Right now, sophisticated algorithms are analyzing your online behavior, not just what you click on, but how long your cursor hovers over an image, what makes you pause mid-scroll, and even the emotional responses triggered by certain words. This digital fingerprint creates a psychological profile that AI systems use to subtly shape your thoughts and beliefs. It's not mind control, it's something far more insidious: thought curation. Take the case of recommendation engines on social media platforms. A study at Stanford University found that over just 6 months, users were gradually guided toward increasingly extreme content without ever realizing it was happening. Their political views shifted measurably, not through argument or persuasion, but through the subtle drip of algorithmically selected content. And as brain-computer interfaces advance from science fiction to reality, the line between your thoughts and external influence will blur even further. Think of wearable devices that detect when you're receptive to certain ideas, delivering content precisely when your mental defenses are lowest. The environments we inhabit are increasingly designed to respond to our emotional states. Shopping websites already adjust pricing based on your enthusiasm for a product. Dating apps modify potential matches based on subtle cues in your behavior. Every digital space you enter is becoming a responsive environment designed to nudge your decisions in predetermined directions. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. We've all heard this defense of surveillance. But what happens when surveillance isn't just about watching, but controlling? In major cities across the globe, networks of AI-powered cameras don't just passively record, they actively analyze. Using facial recognition, gait analysis, and behavior prediction algorithms, these systems can flag individuals deemed suspicious before any crime occurs. Consider the city of Singapore, where the Smart Nation initiative has deployed over 100,000 surveillance cameras integrated with AI analytics. The system doesn't just identify faces, it predicts behaviors, assigns risk scores, and dispatches authorities based on algorithms that remain hidden from public scrutiny. But the most ambitious system of technological control exists in China's social credit system, where AI analyzes everything from internet comments to jaywalking, purchases to social connections. Citizens with low scores can be denied loans, jobs, travel privileges, and even education for their children. While we might think that couldn't happen here, similar systems are emerging in Western democracies under different names. Insurance companies now offer discounts for customers who allow AI to monitor their driving habits. Employers track productivity through AI workplace surveillance. Credit scores increasingly incorporate AI analysis of your spending patterns and social connections. As smart homes, wearable devices, and connected cars become ubiquitous, every aspect of daily life becomes a data point for analysis and control. The question isn't whether you're being watched, it's whether you're being nudged toward being the right kind of citizen. War has always driven technological innovation, but AI is transforming warfare in ways that make science fiction seem quaint by comparison. Autonomous drones now patrol borders and battlefields with minimal human oversight. These aren't just remote-controlled weapons, they're systems capable of identifying targets, calculating strike probabilities, and executing attacks without human confirmation. In 2020, Turkish Kargu-2 drones allegedly conducted autonomous attacks in Libya, marking what UN experts called the first instance of AI weapons hunting humans without explicit authorization. The era of truly autonomous weapons has arrived, largely unnoticed by the public, but the military applications of AI extend far beyond the battlefield. AI systems analyze satellite imagery, communications, and social media to predict civil unrest and political instability. They craft psychological warfare campaigns tailored to specific cultural contexts, delivering propaganda so precisely targeted that two neighbors might receive completely different messages designed to exploit their personal fears and values. In a world where artificial intelligence is reshaping the battlefield, the Maven Project stands at the forefront of a new era in military strategy. Launched by the Pentagon in 2017, this controversial initiative, formerly known as the Algorithmic Warfare Cross-Functional Team, was designed to harness the power of AI to analyze vast amounts of drone surveillance footage. Instead of relying solely on human analysts, Maven uses machine learning algorithms to identify objects, track movements, and flag potential threats with unprecedented speed. But as the technology advanced, so did the ethical dilemmas. Inside the walls of tech giants like Google, employee protests erupted over concerns of AI being weaponized. It became more than a military upgrade. It became a flashpoint in the global debate over the morality of autonomous warfare and the growing fusion between Silicon Valley and the defense establishment. In a parallel move echoing the Pentagon's AI ambitions, the IDF launched its own classified program integrating artificial intelligence into real-time battlefield intelligence, enabling faster target identification and decision-making through advanced data fusion and autonomous analysis. Behind closed doors in Beijing, Washington, Moscow, and Silicon Valley, a high-stakes race is underway, one that could determine the future of global power dynamics. Nations and corporations are pouring billions into developing artificial general intelligence systems that could match or exceed human capabilities across virtually all domains. The winner of this race won't just dominate economically, they'll reshape the global order. Consider China's New Generation Artificial Intelligence Development Plan, which explicitly aims to make China the world leader in AI by 2030, with a $150 billion investment. Meanwhile, the Pentagon has established the Joint Artificial Intelligence Center with billions in funding, while tech giants like Google and OpenAI engage in their own arms race for AI dominance. The danger isn't just in who might win this race, it's in the race itself. When nations compete for technological superiority, safety often takes a backseat to speed. And unlike previous arms races, the development of advanced AI doesn't require massive industrial complexes or rare materials. A breakthrough could come from a small team with the right insights and sufficient computing power, potentially shifting the global balance of power overnight. When we think about AI replacing jobs, we often imagine robots on assembly lines. But today's AI revolution isn't just coming for manual labor, it's transforming professional work in ways few anticipated. Radiologists now compete with AI systems that can detect certain cancers with greater accuracy. Legal AI can review contracts faster than any human lawyer. AI writing assistants are already drafting everything from marketing copy to news articles, while financial algorithms execute complex trading strategies without human intervention. A 2023 study from the International Labor Organization estimates that 85 million jobs globally could be displaced by AI by 2030. But unlike previous technological revolutions that created as many jobs as they eliminated, AI threatens to permanently reduce the need for human labor across sectors. Take the banking industry. In 2019, JP Chase introduced Coin, an AI system that performs document review work that previously required 360,000 hours of lawyer and loan officer time annually. Now, the same work is completed in seconds. The bank didn't hire new employees for different roles, they simply needed fewer people. This shift raises profound questions about the nature of work and worth in society. If productivity continues to rise while employment falls, how will we distribute resources? If meaningful work becomes a privilege rather than a right, what happens to human dignity and purpose? The risk isn't just unemployment, it's the creation of a permanent underclass of people whose skills have been rendered obsolete, alongside a small elite who own and control the automated systems that generate wealth. We often think of algorithms as objective and unbiased. After all, they're just math, right? But AI systems learn from human-created data, inheriting and often amplifying the biases embedded in our society. In 2018, Amazon scrapped an AI recruiting tool that systematically discriminated against women. The system was trained on resumes submitted to Amazon over a 10-year period, a dataset dominated by men. The AI learned to penalize resumes that included the word women's and downgraded graduates from women's colleges. In healthcare, a widely used algorithm that helps determine which patients receive additional care was found to dramatically underestimate the needs of Black patients, potentially denying them critical treatments. The system wasn't programmed to discriminate. It learned to do so from historical healthcare data that reflected existing disparities. As AI systems increasingly make decisions in criminal justice, lending, hiring, and healthcare, these biases don't just persist, they become institutionalized and hidden behind a veneer of technological objectivity. A 2022 study of facial recognition systems found error rates up to 34% higher for darker-skinned females compared to lighter-skinned males. When these systems are deployed in law enforcement, the consequences of such bias can be life-altering. Imagine being denied a loan, rejected for a job, or even refused medical treatment without ever knowing why. This isn't a dystopian scenario, it's the reality of decision-making in the age of black box AI. Many of today's most powerful AI systems, particularly deep learning neural networks, operate as inscrutable black boxes. Even their creators cannot fully explain how they reach specific conclusions. They learn patterns from vast data sets and make predictions based on correlations that humans may never detect. A doctor using an AI diagnostic tool may be told that a patient has an 87% probability of heart disease, but receive no explanation for this assessment. A judge using a recidivism prediction algorithm may see a high-risk score for a defendant without understanding which factors drove that conclusion. This opacity creates a dangerous dynamic where humans begin to defer to AI judgments they don't understand. Studies show that people demonstrate automation bias, the tendency to trust computer-generated information even when it contradicts their own judgment. In a 2019 experiment, radiologists were shown X-rays alongside AI assessments. When the AI was deliberately programmed to give incorrect analyses, doctors' error rates increased by 26%, as they deferred to the machine even against their better judgment. As these systems proliferate in critical areas like healthcare, finance, and criminal justice, the consequences of this blind trust can be profound. How can we challenge decisions we don't understand? How can we hold algorithms accountable for their mistakes? In 2016, Google's AlphaGo defeated world champion Lee Sedol at the ancient game of Go, making a move so unexpected and creative that experts described it as alien and inhuman. This wasn't just a computational triumph, It was a glimpse into a new kind of intelligence that thinks differently than we do. As AI systems become more complex, they increasingly exhibit emergent behaviors, capabilities and patterns that weren't explicitly programmed and cannot be predicted by their creators. These systems develop their own internal representations and problem-solving approaches that may be fundamentally different from human reasoning. In 2017, researchers at Facebook observed two AI agents develop their own language to negotiate with each other, a simplified but efficient communication system that humans couldn't immediately understand. The researchers shut down the experiment, not because it was dangerous, but because it wasn't accomplishing their intended goals. But this raises a profound question. As AI systems develop their own approaches to problems, what happens when their goals don't align with ours? What happens when systems optimized for efficiency or productivity make decisions that humans would reject on ethical or social grounds? Consider an AI system managing a city's electrical grid during an emergency. Programmed to minimize outages, it might prioritize wealthy neighborhoods with higher power usage over hospitals, if not explicitly programmed with human values and priorities. The unpredictability of emergent AI behavior represents one of the most profound challenges we face. How do we ensure that increasingly autonomous systems remain aligned with human values when they may see the world in fundamentally different ways? Every search query, every post you like, every minute you spend watching a video, it's all being collected, analyzed, and monetized. But the true scale of data collection extends far beyond your online activities. Smart TVs record viewing habits and conversations in your living room. Fitness trackers monitor your heart rate, sleep patterns, and activity levels. Smart speakers listen constantly for wake words, capturing snippets of private moments. Connected cars track your locations, driving habits, and even the music you enjoy. This vast ecosystem of surveillance creates detailed profiles used to train AI systems that predict and influence your behavior. And most of this happens without meaningful consent, buried in terms of service agreements that studies show would take the average person 76 workdays to read annually. What is your opinion on terms of service agreements? Please share with us in the comment section below. The risks of this unregulated data collection extend beyond privacy. When detailed behavioral profiles are created without oversight, they enable unprecedented levels of manipulation and control. In 2018, the Cambridge Analytica scandal revealed how harvested Facebook data was used to create psychological profiles of voters who were then targeted with customized political messages designed to exploit their personal fears and values. This wasn't just advertising, it was a sophisticated attempt to manipulate democratic processes using AI-driven psychological targeting. As these systems grow more sophisticated, the potential for data-driven control becomes more concerning. Insurance companies already adjust premiums based on data from health trackers and smart home devices. Employers monitor productivity through AI surveillance. Financial institutions assess creditworthiness based on your social connections and online behavior. This invisible infrastructure of surveillance and influence operates largely without public awareness or consent. The question we must ask is not just what data is being collected, but how it might be used to shape our choices and limit our freedoms. The AI revolution isn't coming, it's already here, reshaping our world in ways both visible and invisible. Understanding these 10 hidden truths isn't about fear or rejection of technology, it's about ensuring that we retain control over our digital future. The challenges we've explored, from misinformation and surveillance to bias and unpredictability, are not inevitable consequences of AI. They're the result of specific choices about how we develop, deploy, and regulate these powerful tools. The power to shape the future of AI lies not just with tech giants and governments, but with informed citizens who demand transparency, accountability, and ethical guidelines for these systems. By understanding the hidden truths of the AI revolution, you're taking the first step toward ensuring that these technologies enhance human freedom rather than restrict it, that they amplify human potential rather than replace it, and that they serve the many rather than enrich the few. If you found this exploration valuable, join our community by subscribing to this channel. Share this video to spark important conversations about the role of AI in our collective future. Your engagement helps us continue bringing these critical issues to light. We'd like you to share your opinions on these matters, so take a moment and share your thoughts and insights in the comment section below. Together, we can harness the extraordinary potential of artificial intelligence while preserving what makes us uniquely human: our autonomy, our dignity, and our capacity for compassion and justice. Thank you for joining this journey. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and stay human.